All right, welcome to another video. I'm Vince Bolito, and I am on a mission to help you live your purpose and maximize power. And this morning, when I woke up and was doing my ritual of meditation and concentration and just, internal work, what I experienced inside was this focusing of intention and growth and power and purpose into me. And I was witness to this experience that I am the purpose of the universe. And I don't believe that I am the purpose of the universe apart from you or anything else. I think we all are the purpose of the universe, but you are the purpose of the universe. You got to get that you are the purpose of the universe. This is an easily provable fact. All right, consider this. You didn't bring yourself into existence. Your parents didn't even bring you into existence. Your parents were able to do what they did because the universe provided them with bodies and the ability to come together and plant a seed and into an egg and grow this body that you inhabit, that you are walking in, living in, breathing in. And this body of yours came into existence. It was purposed by the universe, all of our bodies. The universe, in fact, created the earth at some point in its unfolding, right? So that what? Organisms could come alive and populate the earth, and layer upon layer upon layer of organismic life developed, and then all of a sudden humanity was able to come onto the scene. We could not have appeared first. We needed everything else that there is in this world to provide us with our living, our food, our air, and the water. Everything that's here was set up so that we could exist. We are the universe's greatest expression of life as we know it. And it's so important for you to get that you are the purpose of the universe, because this is the prosperity hack that you truly need at your core. And I say prosperity hack because a lot of us are trying to go after things and get more money or get this and that. But how can that work if internally you don't even realize that you are the reason that the universe has existed? It brought you forth. You are the central axis of its purpose. And when you get that about yourself, you become magnetic. You realize things flow to you. They always have been. But here's what gets in the way. What gets in the way is our upbringing and being shamed, made wrong, blamed, told we're not enough. Whatever happens, those painful incidents or moments, our own conclusions about those painful incidents and moments, we stop believing in our own inherent worth. We stop believing in our own inherent value. Maybe we never were given that growing up. Maybe our childhood was so rough that we never heard that we were enough, that we were, something special, that we were, meant to be here, like that we have a purpose, that we are a purpose. We didn't maybe have that. And so our mind and our nervous system is chronically operating in I'm insignificant. And so when that is the core of our being and our vibrational field is, governed by this core feeling of inadequacy and insignificance, then I'm not very attractive to my good. I actually will repel it. I'm perpetuating the emptiness because I've come into this delusion, under a spell even, that I'm not important, that I'm not enough. But you are the purpose of the universe, and you getting this at your very core will change and revolutionize everything in your life. You exist by purpose of this cosmos. You are the purpose for its existence. You're the purpose that it does everything that it does. And it's not just like it's all about you. And it's like, okay, I'm the purpose and I'm standing on stage and I'm just the center of all attention and that's that. No, you're the purpose of the universe, because through you, the purposing of the universe will continue to extend itself and expand itself and spread itself into the lives of others, to ideally wake this up in other human beings. We are its purpose. We are the experiencer of its own nature. Through us, we can hear it, we can see it, we can smell it, we can touch it, we can play with it, we can create with it, we can do all these things with it. As a human being, you are the purpose of the universe, right? What is it without us who can experience it? And so there's this interesting relationship where we can start to seem so insignificant when science tells us about how vast and large the cosmos is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, to get our insignificance to some degree, but it doesn't invalidate or negate our significance. It's important for us to get that broader perspective and that broader view. But here's the thing. When you study the 4 archetypes that were brought forth by Carl Jung, and you learn about these qualities or the characteristics of our personality that are important to develop for us to mature and live in the fullness of our being. One of the first archetypes, the very first archetype technically, that a child is to develop into is called the divine child. And the divine child represents the center and purpose of the universe. And so that's where this came from. I was meditating on this morning because I've been teaching the 4 archetypes to my coaching group. And the 4 archetypes are a powerful way to understand who we are and why we are the way that we are, and what path we can take to mature and develop and overcome what has been sabotaging our success, our ability to live our most full and purposeful life. But it starts with the divine child. This is the first child archetype that many of us have never even actually been able to develop into. We must develop into this divine child, one of the 4 archetypes, and realize that the divine child is the promise of the universe for the world, for the people. And so this is the archetype of the story of Jesus Christ. Even the Buddha was a divine child. These metaphors, these stories, these true stories, whether they actually happened or not, is insignificant. What matters is that they represent something that is true, and they represent a truth about who you are, and you get to get yourself as a divine child. You are the child of promise. You are the center of the universe. The universe exists for your existence. Okay, you are what people have been hoping for. And when you realize this and get your inherent value, inherent worth, that you are the one that others are hoping will appear, what happens is your significance level goes up, and it's important for you to recognize your significance. This is not the same as arrogance or having an inflated ego or an inflated sense of self-importance. That's where we start to err and deviate from the central point of being the divine child. But you are the purpose of the universe means that you are the divine child. You are the child born from above, right? You were born from light. You were born from power. You're born from the center of all that is. And you recognizing this gives you a fullness that doesn't end up with you just being full and saturated and inflated with yourself, because that would lead you to become perhaps the tyrant, right? Which is a shadow aspect of the divine child, or the high chair tyrant, really. And then there's a shadow aspect of the divine child that is the passive principle. The high chair tyrant is the active principle. But these 2 poles are opposites. They are the not matured version of the child, right? They are the kind of the distortion. And so the tyrant is like, it's overinflated with itself. It thinks everything exists to meet its needs and its needs alone, right? It becomes very self-centered. But the divine child is not self-centered. The divine child is more balanced. It's the child of promise. It's filled. And you are this child of promise, and you are filled so that you can mature into the king or the queen, the sovereign. And the sovereign is benevolent. The sovereign is generous. The sovereign brings order to the kingdom. The sovereign blesses and gives grace and uplifts and empowers the people. That is the purpose of the sovereign. But you can't become the sovereign. How could you become a king or a queen if you were never a divine child to begin with? Right? So it starts because every king or every queen is born into that. So this idea is that you recognize that you were birthed as a divine child. You were birthed as a divine child, and everything centers around you. You're brand new and you're powerful. You represent creativity, generativity, positivity, playfulness, and aliveness and enthusiasm for life. That is the divine child. That is something that must be established within you before you can fully mature into the sovereign, which is now realizing that you are the purpose of the universe, not just to be the center of stage and the center of all attention and to receive everything to you because it's all for you. No, it's all for you so that you can fountain it out and be generous and give it to the world. So it's important that these ideas get deeply awoken within you, that you come alive. inside of the realization that you are the divine child. You're the offspring of the universe itself. That's what that means. This is not about a religious belief system or anything like that. You don't have to have a particular religion to get this. To get this just means like get that the cosmos brought you forth, that you are the promise to the world of abundance and prosperity. And this mindset and this feeling state, this emotional condition internally will cause you to be this fountaining, generous, gracious, giving, benevolent, sovereign being. And so you must get that you are the purpose of the universe in order for the purpose of the universe to continue expressing and fulfilling itself through you. You are the one who gets to have the overflow. And the story of Jesus, this helpless little baby who is known to now be the promise of God to the people that would save God's people. So the promised one, right, it's not all about the baby being the center of attention forever, although it is, and it receives gifts and blessings, and the wise men come and they bring gold and frankincense and myrrh, and these are very symbolic things. But the idea in this story is that, see, you are the Christ. You are the one promised to the world. And until you get this internally, you don't have a healthy ego. A healthy ego knows its importance and it knows its value. If you don't know your importance, if you don't know your value as an intrinsic thing, and you don't sense and feel that like as an authentic, this I am valuable, I am worthy, I am full, and I am complete, and I am given abundance, and I'm given richness, then you can't be giving. You can't be abundantly generous to the world around you. And that's how you generate value for the world that exchanges its value, what it values, for what it is that you're giving as value. That's how abundance and prosperity comes. So this is a powerful abundance and prosperity hack. If you take it into consideration, you meditate on this, that you are the purpose of the universe. Now, those are the words I wanted to give you right here to meditate on. And it would be turned around saying, I am the purpose of the universe. And remember, I am the purpose of the universe. It's first place to start. It doesn't mean you're arrogant. It doesn't mean you're egocentric. It doesn't mean you're going to get inflated and stay there. You want to be inflated in a sense with riches and abundance in terms of a psychological and emotional realization of your significance, because that's what gives you the ability to feel the freedom to then give out your gifts to the world. And that's the next stage. But it starts here. It starts with you recognizing that you are the purpose of the universe, and it all exists for you to experience it, play with this idea, test it. Don't just believe it, but test it. Don't just accept what I'm saying. Put it to use. Meditate on it. Absorb it. Affirm it. Feel it. Toy with it. See what comes up for you. Experience yourself as the center of the universe and the purpose of the universe and the fullness of the universe. Experience yourself as that. What does it feel like to experience that? What does it feel like to know like everything is pointing to you? Everything in your universe and your environment is focused on you and centering its energy and intention upon you. Just imagine this to be real, because what you think you will feel if you believe it deep enough, if you allow yourself to entertain it. And if you feel this, I promise you, if you're feeling rich and you're feeling abundant, then you're going to be able to give that to others. All the people you love and adore and admire are people who believe that of themselves. They feel that in themselves, and therefore they're giving of themselves in a way that you value. And that's why people are rich and abundant, who are giving so much to the world and are capable of giving so much in the world. It isn't because like they just entered into that path automatically. They were recognizing themselves as the purpose of the universe. At some level, they got this. And however they may have worded it, or however it may be languaged or emotionalized internally, they realized their intrinsic value. They realized there was a value and there's a givingness that's there for them at some point, because no one in the world can give of his or her value if they don't even believe that they are valued, that they don't believe that they are the one that they're purposed for, the receiving. So it starts by receiving from the universe. You already have been. Life has been giving to you. You've made it this far. It's been so generous to you. But if your mind doesn't realize this, if your mind separates from the recognition that life is welling up within you, continuously beating your heart, pulsing blood through your veins and circulating life force through you, giving you the ability to be conscious and animate and to produce results in the world. If you don't get that there's a givingness to you, then you're going to be weak and you're going to be lacking, and that's going to reflect in how people treat you. It's going to reflect in how much money you make. It's going to reflect in the type of life you live. It's going to reflect on all of that. It's so important to get that you are the purpose of the universe. You are the very center of everything in the cosmos. You. And that's for everybody. That's for everybody. Nobody's better or above anybody else in this model. I promise you. Each person is the purpose of the universe. Each person is the center of the universe. I have witnessed this. I've experienced this. I have understood this through the core of my being. And I share this with you so that you come alive inside of who you truly are. So I ask you and invite you to meditate, to reflect on this, to absorb this into your innermost parts. Put some music on, meditate on the idea that you are the purpose of the universe, and say, I am the purpose of the universe, and consider what that looks like. Consider that everything in your field of existence exists to serve, to honor, to fulfill, and to meet your needs so that you can meet the needs of others. Okay, and that last part, that you can meet the needs of others, is the key to not getting arrogant, inflated, or egotistical, egocentric. It's about realizing that the fullness comes to you so that you can distribute this fullness and generate this value for others in the world and circulate it. It must be circulated, but you first got to get it as a foundation that you are the purpose of the universe, that you are significant, you are infinitely significant, and getting that deep in your core as a recognition and identity can transform everything in your life. If you like this video, consider liking it by hitting the like button. Consider commenting and let me know what your thoughts were. I'd love to hear what you got. If you got any questions, I'd love to hear that too. If you have any requests for other video content around this, just anything you got at all, I want to hear. Your feedback's important to me. Your questions are important to me, and I want to produce for you according to your needs. Okay, so thank you for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel wherever you're watching this. Just look for Vince Bolito, or this is my channel at Purpose and Power, and just come and get more of this content for yourself. You deserve it. You're amazing. You're the purpose of the universe. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. Go forth and prosper as you receive prosperity from deep within. I'll see you in the next video.